For over 200 years, Penn Medicine has proudly stood shoulder to shoulder with the brave men and women of our armed forces. During the American Revolution, Pennsylvania Hospital tended to both Continental and British soldiers, while throughout the Civil War it treated wounded Northern troops. Graduates of the University of Pennsylvania Medical School served as physicians and surgeons in both the Union forces and Confederate Army. All four UPHS hospitals played vital roles during the First World War. The University of Pennsylvania, with HUP, Pennsylvania Hospital, and Penn Presbyterian, each established a base hospital in France, treating tens of thousands of Allied soldiers. More than 20 Chester County Hospital nurses and physicians left to serve in the armed forces during that war. During World War II, HUP and the university again organized an overseas medical facility, this one operating in the jungle region of northeast India. Within 2 weeks of the attack on Pearl Harbor, a Pennsylvania hospital unit was in the first convoy to sail for the Pacific Theater, constructing and operating treatment facilities in thatched roof and bamboo-framed huts. Today, Penn Medicine is proud to honor the hundreds of faculty, staff, and students who have served or are currently serving in the U.S. Armed Forces. These brave men and women have participated in engagements across the globe, from Vietnam to Kosovo to the First Gulf War, and in recent operations in Iraq and Afghanistan.
And when the Vietnam War started, they were sending people, as we say in the military, lock, stock, and barrel to Vietnam, no matter what their training was.
Say we went to Kabul or something and we were in a convoy and something happened, we would have to learn how to do that to survive. So yeah, they train you all to do the same thing. Every soldier has to train as a soldier.
The reality hits after you get there, to be honest. When the first plane lands and the doors open and there's 85 casualties that just flew out from Iraq who 15 hours earlier, 24 hours earlier, just got their wounds.
So I did 2 deployments. My first deployment was in 2005. We were part of something called a Marine Expeditionary Unit. Then my second deployment was to Fallujah, Iraq in 2006. That was for 7 months. And took care of patients there and took care of Marines there.
After 2003, I was involved in several aspects of the global counterterrorism strategy, and specifically the response to Al-Qaeda.
To me, it was a real eye-opener because of what I saw and who I met. And it's really given me a lifelong admiration and praise for the military, for these individuals who really do the heavy lifting 24/7 around the world.
The military does other things besides being deployed. In my 36 years, we've opened hospitals or changed hospitals.
I thought about what we did in the Vietnam War, what it was for. Our mission was to block the communists from taking over Vietnam. And as I think about it now, I'm very gratified when I interview residency candidates, and I recognize the ones with Vietnamese names. And so those kind of experiences really is a positive impact of what we did in Vietnam, but you don't realize it until much later.
It's a tough life, and I'm not sure most people appreciate the sacrifices that these people make and are willing to do this.
If there's anybody that epitomized how a team needs to operate, it was John. John, in the trauma bay and the operating room in the ICU, would be working with different teams of people, oftentimes teams of people that had never worked together before. That kind of a legacy is what I think, that's the imprint that John left on this place, and certainly the environments in which he's worked have carried that mold forward.
In my own experience, I find that the experience of deploying has prepared me well for life.
And the military is very good at developing leaders. You're being developed as a leader at a young age, and you don't even realize the impact that's having on your growth and your character.
I think every veteran has their own story, and it's a different story.
I wouldn't be sitting here today at Penn in my role if I had not had that initial 8-week training to get me started on the right path.
The things that I value most from my service is I got to serve my country, especially during a time of war. And I think it was the relationships with the other people that I served with.
And those relationships, because it's in that, are much closer than probably anything you'll find anyplace else. Not a football team, not anything else. It's a camaraderie that'll last forever.
To the veterans who are a part of the Penn Medicine family and all veterans, we say thank you. Thank you for your sacrifices, for your sense of duty, and for your courageous service. Your dedication to the mission and service to others inspires us to remain vigilant in our commitment to continue our legacy of support and join with others to improve the health care and wellness of our military service members, veterans, and their families.